Reward is up to $40,000 tonight for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the killer of a rookie New York City police officer.
Distribution of kilo quantities of heroin, cocaine, crack throughout the city.
There have been 160 drug arrests since last Friday. Drug pushers who might never have been busted in the wake of this shooting.
East New York, Cypress Hill houses. Moochie was a slick talker. He was a hustler. When I was younger, I felt he was like a big brother. The Nut Hut was more or less like a recreation center. Everybody used to hang out there. Big drug dealers come there and pick a package from Moochie. When I first met him, he used to like to be into karate. He started learning how to box. And when Tut learned how to box, you couldn't tell him nothing. Once he got into shape, and if he get into a beef or a fight with anybody, he was good. You know what I'm saying, with his hand. I left because of the fact if I didn't leave, you're going to wind up getting in beef with, people that you love and care about. So sometimes all money is not good money. So you got to walk away from the situation. My drug spot was robbed several times. When I went to the workers and asked them what took place, they basically say the same people that robbed the drug spot the first time robbed the shit again. And for some reason that shit didn't sit well with me. I took them one by one and put the gun in their mouth and tell me the truth. And if they lied to me, I'ma blast them. And they started telling me, Crazy did it, Crazy did it. Crazy was a guy, Clyde, that was basically like a big brother that grew up with me. When he came home, I took care of him, looked out for him, gave him money, took him shopping, did everything I could possibly do for him. And for him to, out of 1,000,001 drug spot, why you want to rob something that belonged to me? So yes, I took that personal. He didn't know, that I knew. So when I got in contact with him, I just played it off. Look, man, the same people that hit the drug spot before hit it again. And it's like about 3 of them. And I'm willing to give you $5,000 a piece for each and every one of them. So long story short, a couple of days went by, we met up right across the street from Cypress at Manny Bodega. When we got there, Crazy there, he's with, Big Blanco, and he with his girl. So as I'm going over the scenario, I let him know what took place and what I want to do. You know what? Let's go over there now, see if we can find these cats. During that period of time, you got police sirens, and going back and forth, because you got to remember, Cypress Projects is hot. So I said, you strapped? He said, yeah. I said, man, come on, go put that shit up. So he, went to put the shotgun and the guns up that he had. But the crazy part about it, he took Blanco with him, and he left his girl. He told her to get in the car with us. And that was kind of odd. So when she got in the car with us, I drove off. And when we drove off, I stopped at the store. And when I stopped at the store, I got back in the car, drove up to the block, got the car, told her to get out the car. When she got out the car, I just asked her, why did your man rob our spot? After I dropped Amari off, I went to get me an alibi. Later on, Crazy paged me. I went to the nearest outside payphone and called him back. And he asked me, hey, where's Sybil? And I told him right after you left, she walked in the opposite direction. So he bought it. And he said, that bitch. Not knowing at the time, he's saying that bitch, that she had a lining full of stolen drugs inside her coat. So I'm trying to bait him. I'm telling him, look, man, listen, let's meet up. Let's go ahead and take care of this problem while we can. And for some reason, he must be new, that I was on to him, and he never met up with me. Anywhere you go, you gotta establish yourself. You gotta go upside their damn head by stabbing them, piping them, busting upside their head with a mop wringer. I first met Pappy Mason back in like 1985, and that was through Jughead. And the next time I ran back into Pappy was when I caught the murder of Sybil Mims in 1986. He was in Brooklyn House and I was in Brooklyn House. Within a short period of time, from being in Brooklyn House and basically causing havoc, like, taking over any area I went to, getting into fights, stabbing, piping, hitting people upside the head with mop ringers. Like, I just start catching like crazy dysentery Bing time. And the Bing in Brooklyn House at the time was the 3rd floor. Pappy was already on the 3rd floor as CMC. Like top security. because of his case, the parole officer murder. And when I was in the Bing, Pat used to come around, check on me, make sure I was all right. Anything I want as far as like food, make sure I had. And, we just built a combination of a great relationship. Sometime it was like situation whereas, somebody violated and he wanted them taken care of. If I catch him in the visiting room, I catch him at court, I used to stab him, go upside the head. And basically right now where it's like the time we spent, it has strengthened and built our bond. And when we kind of got kicked out of the Bing in Brooklyn House and went to HDM, we got into some shit with the cops, with the COs, getting into fights, and they threw us out of Brooklyn House and sent us to HDM. Me, Pappy, my man Clyde Campbell, Nat, it was a few of us. And when we got to HDM, basically we just tore shit up. And from there, me and Pappy just had that brotherhood, that hell of a relationship. I met Cat, Lorenzo Fat Cat Nichols, basically on the strength of Pat. He knew I was Pat, man. And when I was on Rikers Island, HDM, you know, we used to go to court together. and we used to be in the bullpens. Blindfolded her, handcuffed her, and threw her in the back of a van. They wanted a large amount of money, large amount of heroin, cocaine. And basically right now, where his stand was, I don't got it, man. All I can give y'all guys is like cars or jewelry. They got the money, they got the drug, and they pistol whipped Cat girlfriend at the time. Just me agreed to set up a move that's gonna get Ron doing some real paper. And the move just happened to be at one of Cat, you know what I'm saying, girlfriend house. Maisha was like one of Cat many girls. Young, light-skinned, pretty young lady. And his baby mama. She staged fake robbery, saying, you know, she got robbed for money, drugs. And when you do that several times, and then you turn around to add insult to injury, you take the money or drugs and give it to another nigga, that was like insult to injury.
Award is up to $40,000 tonight for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the killer of a rookie New York City police officer. 22-year-old Edward Byrne was shot as he sat in his squad car guarding the home of a witness in a drug trial. Jim Dolan reports on the intense manhunt in the Queens neighborhood where it happened and on yet another victim in the war on drugs.
Mason wanted to show police who was really ruling the streets.
We grew up together as kids, went to public school, PS5 in Bedford-Stuyvesant. K-Sean, Allah Justice, you know, those guys was known for stick-up kids. If they come and get you, you know, they gonna stick up everybody and kill everybody. Once he killed Hollywood, guess what? All bets, all game was off. I just shot him. I shot him twice, point blank range. When King Allah, the guy that kidnapped Fat Cat wife, when he manipulated Allah Justice to throw the firebomb into Fat Cat house, because he knew that I had beef with them. So being that he was trying to work out a deal about his kidnapping, he told Allah Justice that if y'all want Glaze, Glaze lived in Queens. Glaze lived at Fat Cat mother house, which was a lie. So these guys is under the impression that, you know what, I don't live in Brooklyn no more, I live in Queens. So he gave them Fat Cat mother address, and these guys came over there after I shot Allah Justice in his face. They came over there thinking they're gonna find me. They just went over to the house. I'm talking about, you know what, 1 o'clock in the morning, and you fucking start shooting and throw a firebomb into the house, causing the death of Fat Cat sister that was in a wheelchair. That's bullshit. Those motherfuckers don't get no respect. The key was, if it wasn't for Cat stopping me, I would have went after fucking Justice's whole fucking family, mother's baby, kids and all. Cat, 71 years old, mother was in there at the time. His sister, who was 51 years old, passed away in the fire. She's in a wheelchair. His stepfather, Daddy Ames, was 75. His nephew was what? You know what I'm saying, 4. The other one was 10. His niece was 12. So if mama wasn't alert and tried to get everybody else out, everybody would have died in that fucking fire. That's why I said right now, I lost my mind. And if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be on this fucking phone right now, because I would have set a fucking example. Everybody would have went in their family.
In the area around where Officer Byrne was shot, there have been 160 drug arrests since last Friday. Drug pushers who might never have been busted in the wake of this shooting.
With the Edward Burns, rookie police officer Edward Burns murder, everyone in law enforcement felt that I killed Edward Burns. Everyone, they betted money that out of that crew, who was the most dangerous, who was the most craziest to kill and execute a rookie police officer. And everybody felt that it was me. And what they did was they actually arrested me. They arrested me, because they thought I had something to do with Edward Burns, but they gave me Clifton Rice murder, who I actually, did. But they did that. When they picked me up that day, I was with Marshall, David McClary, and Pappy Uncle. Mind you, they took us all back to the 75th precinct. They let them go. And they kept me because they felt that I killed Edward Burns. And when these guys finally, they put up a $40,000 reward, and once it hit $40,000, it was a couple of guys I like to say was related to Marshall, and they start cooperating to get that $40,000. And they mentioned that Marshall and Dave and Scott and Todd planned the murder at their apartment. And once all that shit came out, and they pick all these guys up, and all these guys start cooperating, Pappy name came up, Cat name came up, but my name never came back up. And they was kind of confused about that shit. They felt like either these motherfuckers was that much afraid of me, or I actually didn't have nothing to do with it. August 11, 1988 was one of the worst days of my life. That's when the federal government, along with NYPD, they came in the U.S. Marshal. They went through upstate New York, arrested Cat, arrested Pappy. They went to New York, sweeping up everybody that they can from the crew. They went down to Alabama, got Cat, mother, his stepfather. They went to Virginia, got Mousy, went to Jersey, got Lynn, Cat girlfriend. They got all Cat nieces, sisters, any and everybody. They got my brother Country, and just so happened, I just happened to be on a run at that present time that they didn't get me. November 10th, 1988, when they finally tracked me down in South Carolina. While I was on a run, I was trying to get plastic surgery on my face, on my fingers. Hey, I didn't want to go to jail. And once they arrest me, I got indicted back. I got extradited back to New York, and I was facing all these charges from murders, The kingpin charge, 21 USC 848, 21 USC 841, and 21 USC 846. And after a while, you look back and see what the hell is going on. And I went to Cat. I said, look, they got you, they got me, they got Pap, they got John. Those are the 4 key people they want. Let your mother, let your sister, let your nieces, let my brother go against us. We gonna get life. Like, you know, being that we gonna get life and we're the main target, let them get a deal and go home. Cat basically told me, you know what, why don't you go to trial first? And I can see what they got against you, then I go to trial. And that's what set up the light bulb, motherfucker. Wait a minute, you want me to go to trial? You already got life. I don't have life. So I just start thinking, what the fuck? You trying to use me as a human guinea pig? You're not gonna use me as a human guinea pig. So that's the point. That's what changed everything or whatever. When I made a deal, that was the most difficult time of my life. You know, I always believe in that bullshit, death before dishonor. Don't talk that talk if you can't walk that walk. I done killed witnesses. I done did all that shit. You know, I done stabbed witnesses on Rikers Island upstate. And here it is right now, whereas once I start contemplating about making a fucking deal, you know, I went to Pappy. And by that time, when we was in MCC New York, he was strictly isolated. They would not let him mingle with the population. So I went to the 9th floor and we had an attorney conference visit. We went in the room and just me and Pap, and I told him, I said, look, man, this is what I'm about to do. I'm about to make a deal. I'm about to make a deal with the US government. And if you feel I'm wrong, you can take the fucking ox, the razor, out of your dread and cut me or cut my throat. Pappy looked me in my eyes. Yo, Glaze, I can't do that. I love you like a brother, man. He said, but what everybody gonna think about you, man? Everywhere I went, from Rikers Island to Comstock, Attica, Clinton, everybody glazed this, glazed that. Now, what they're gonna say, you know, once you make the deal, you know, once you become a rat, a snitch. And I told Pap, I said, look, man, those that love me gonna still love me. Those that hate me still gonna hate me. I said, what the fuck, you know, people gonna say when I got 1,000,001 years in jail and I'm sitting in the jail cell on medication, drinking water out of the toilet bowl, going blah, blah, blah out of my mind. And basically right now, Wiz, he just look at me, man. Yo, you still my man? I love you. Nobody can say that Brian Glaze Gibbs got up on the stand and testified against him. Nobody can say that Brian Glaze Gibbs, you know, went to the grand jury on me. Nobody can say I'm in their fucking paperwork or they went to jail because of me. None of my crew, nobody. As much murders that was out there, as much shit that I know of, nobody can say, hey, Glaze flipped on me. And see, that's the real of it, regardless of what. It's like even with people that work with me or work for me. When it came time to the homicide, it's like I pled guilty to all the murders that I did. And like I say right now, when I made a deal, most of the guys that was participating with me in the homicide, they was, you know, dead already. So is that telling? If it is, it is. The bottom line is my biggest regret is I was too smart to get caught up in this bullshit in the first place. That's the only thing I'm mad about myself.